Hello guys, this is your friend and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Kurenai decides to adopt Naruto, after seeing how Naruto was treated by Konoha Part 2. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. A year later the entire everyone was sitting in class waiting on Iruka. He walked into the class. Welcome to your second year of the academy, he said. Shikamaru raised his hand. This year isn't going to be like last year, is it? Because if it is, my cousin wants to know now because she thinks I could be using this time training, he said. My cousins wanted to know that also, Naruto said. Everyone else from shinobi families said the same thing. Don't worry, last year we had to focus on getting the kids that wasn't from shinobi families caught up on the things they would have known if they were from shinobi families. This year we will focus on taijutsu, the different kinds of taijutsu, and work on increasing each of your speed, while also working on chakra control, Iruka said. Well, at least it's training and keeping me away from my cousin and her crazy training schedule, Shikamaru said. Naruto stood in front of Anko. Well, Naru-chan, let's start, she said. Naruto nodded and attacked her. Anko dodged and blocked all his attacks. Come on, you can do better than this, she said. Hinata was standing on the Hyuga private lake with Shizune, who offered to give her extra medic training, more so dodging. Shizune pulled a bag off her back and started to throw rocks at Hinata, who had to dodge without moving. As time went on, Hinata noticed how every time Shizune threw a rock with extra chakra in it, the water splashed a certain way every time. She pushed chakra into her hand and smacked the water with it as Shizune threw a rock at her. The water split as if running away from the chakra. Hey Shizune, can you do something for me? She asked. It depends, Shizune said. Can you throw some rocks at the water instead of me? I want to try something, Hinata said. Sure, Shizune said. She threw a rock and it splashed in front of Hinata. She concentrated her chakra into the palm of her hand and pushed it out in a whip-type motion, and the chakra split a drop of water in half. Wow, how did you do that? Shizune asked. Well, watching the water after your rocks hit it, I got a weird idea to try and split the water in half with my chakra. If I can get it right, I should be able to create my own special jutsu, she said. Not to mention the control training this will give you, Shizune said. Sasuke was running at top speed through the trees in the Uchiha district with his katana. As he went past trees, he quickly drew his katana and slashed at trees. Each draw became faster and each slash stronger. Shikamaru was bent over, tired and out of breath as his cousin looked at him. Shikamaru, is that the best you can do? She asked. We have been sparring for the last 2 hours, Shikamaru said. I don't give a damn, stand up and be a man. We are not ending this spar until you're able to hit me 10 times without using clan jutsus, she said. Troublesome cousin, he whispered. I heard that, now stand up, she demanded. Tenten was running through the weapons shop looking frantically at the different weapons. Tenten, what are you doing? The weapons are no different than the ones you saw this morning, Genki said. I know Otusan, but only one of my friends found a weapon. The rest, although Hinata and Neji came and looked, they didn't find anything, she replied. Genki thought. You have a total of 9 friends who need a weapon, right? He asked. She nodded. Then take them 9 of the rare weapons, he said. Tenten stopped and looked at him. You know how much those weapons cost, she said. I know, but they are in a clan. They can pay me back over time, he replied. If you say so. Tenten then went to get the weapons. A week later, Tenten asked for them all to meet her at the training ground they use when they train together. Tenten arrived at training ground 12 with the weapons in a scroll. Hey Tenten, why did you want us all to meet you here? Naruto asked. Yae Kasen was pissed when I showed her your message, Kiba said. Well, I was thinking last week only one of you actually have a weapon, so. She pulled out a scroll. For Neji, these are chakra gloves. I know how you are trying to be the best Hyuga ever, so with these gloves you will be able to extend your chakra out a few inches further. She gave him a pair of black gloves. Wow, thanks, this must cost a lot. How can I repay you? He said. Don't worry, Otusan said you all can pay for the weapons over time, she said. Great, Neji said, putting the gloves on. For Hinata twin elbow knives, they are extremely fast and are made for only water users, Tenten said. Thank you, Hinata said. For Ino, a katana, but not any katana. This katana is also a whip. Practice with it and you will say what I'm talking about. Also it will take to your chakra, but it is specially made for earth users since it was made in Iowa, Tenten said. Thank you, Ino said, taking the weapon. For Hana, I don't know what would fit you, so I got you chakra bow. You use your chakra to make the arrows, and whatever element you are, that's what element the arrows will be, Tenten said. Thanks, that's perfect for me since I'm a vet and medic nin. I am mostly for support, Hana said, taking the weapon. Kiba, for you a scythe. I don't know what it does, as it's the newest weapon we got, Tenten said. This is the most bad weapon, he said, taking the scythe. Shikamaru, I got you a chain spear. It is rumored that this spear was used by one of the greatest shadow users, before the Nara clan was formed, but no one after was able to use it properly, so I figured if anyone could figure it out it would be you, Tenten said. Shikamaru took the weapon. Thanks, this will work good with my jutsus, he said. For Shino, I got you a chained katana. It can take your element. Also with the chain and spiked on the end of it you can probably awesome things with it, Tenten said. Thanks, Shino said. Finally, for Choji, you get double war hammers. They are made exactly like your Otusan staff, as when you grow in size they do also, Tenten said. Choji took the hammers. Thanks, these are awesome, he said. Sakura walked into the hospital and directly to the head doctor's office, which happened to be Tsunade. She knocked on the door. Tsunade opened and looked at her. If you're injured, you're going to have to go to the front desk to check in. If you have a message from the Hokage, then leave it with my assistant Shizune, she said. No, I wanted to ask you something, Sakura said. What's that? Tsunade said. Well, I am attending the academy and I'm from a nin shinobi family, so last year was the first time I ever used chakra, and Aruka sensei said I have great control, but it's mainly because I have a small amount of chakra, so I came to ask you if you could train me to be a medic nin, because I don't like fighting and think I would be more help to my future team as a support medic nin, Sakura said. Tsunade looked at her without saying anything for 5 minutes. What's your name? She finally asked. Sakura Haruno, she replied. I see your Otusan is on the council, Tsunade asked. Yes, Sakura replied. He is, and I don't like him. Sasuke was about to say something but was stopped by Tsunade's hand. I'm only judging him on personal experience with him, but I believe in being fair to everyone, so I already have a few people I'm teaching and I don't want to hold their training to catch you up, so go to Shizune's office and tell her I sent you for training. When you catch up with the other girls I'm teaching, I'll take over, she said. Yes. Sakura then turned and walked off. She arrived at Shizune's office, and when Shizune raised an eyebrow at her, she started. Tsunade-sama sent me to you so I can get medical training, and when I catch up to the other girls she is training, she will take over, she said. The other girls are a year ahead of you in training, Shizune said. I will train every day as long as I can in order to catch up, Sakura said. Okay, come in, we will get started, Shizune said. The second year of the academy went by without anything major happening like the first year. Everyone increased their skill level and learned to use their respective weapon as if they had them for their entire life. For Sakura, her improvement was so dramatic that it surprised Tsunade, Shizune, and the Hokage. With her having a photographic memory, as soon as she saw anything it was memorized. This led her to learn medics at a pace that was close to surpassing Hinata, who constantly had to stop her own medic training to let Ino and Tenten catch up with her. Sakura stopped going to the extra training lessons provided by the academy and focused on medics and finding a teacher to teach her element training. The third year was going to be the most boring year if they didn't start teaching something that half of the students didn't learn already. Halfway through the second year, even Sakura stopped going to focus on medic training. Also contributing to her rapid growth in medics was the fact that she didn't belong to a shinobi family and she was an only child. Uruka stood in front of the class and sighed. This year we are focusing on jutsus. It will be broken down into genjutsu, ninjutsu, elemental, and sealing jutsu. If you don't need help in what is being taught at the moment, then you will have a free period which can be used to do whatever you like as long as you're not breaking any rules, he said. Genjutsu man, I suck at those and I excel at sealing, Naruto said. We all might be staying in this year, Hinata said. Excuse me, they heard from behind them. They turned. Yes, they asked, looking at Sakura. Well, I was wondering if you knew anyone who could help me with extra training in the jutsu, she asked. You're admitting you need help? Ino asked sarcastically to the girl who she became best friends with. Oh, be quiet, Ino, not everyone has shinobis to teach them, Sakura replied. Well, my cousin is the genjutsu mistress, she might be willing to help, and I can help with basic sealing, Naruto said. Elemental, well, Kakashi seems to know a lot about them, Hinata said. Okay, thank you, she said. Why not sit with us sometime, Ino said. Sakura looked at Sasuke then back. Well, not now, I'm just saying people might think you're a fangirl if you are always sitting by him and don't have any friends, Ino added. Sakura smiled. I will, she said. The fourth year arrived and both Iruka and Mizuki was glad the final year was here. They both noticed how after the first year the students who was from a shinobi family started to pull away dramatically from those who wasn't from a shinobi family. It got to the point that the students not from shinobi families transferred to another class and the Hokage had to send Chunins to the academy to train the other half of the students to close the gap. Everyone in the village started to notice the noticeable gap and started to demand the Hokage do something to close this gap and give non-shinobi kids a chance. To this the Hokage used Sakura as an example of someone who took their learning in their own hands as she closed the gap between the shinobi kids and herself. He admitted that she wasn't on their level, but when put on a genin team her learning will increase again. Sakura wasn't the only one who increased in skill at an almost impossible rate, as Rock Lee, who graduated at the bottom of his class, was able to match Tenten in taijutsu and tie for second in taijutsu after a few years of training under Guy. When he graduated he was teamed up with Tenten and Neji with the thinking that the two of them will push Lee to become even stronger. One thing about Lee no one liked was him taking after Guy in every way possible, even his haircut and clothes. The Hokage was sitting at his office looking at the grades from the last 3 years for this year's senior class. He took a deep breath and slowly released it. Bring me Iruka and Mizuki, he said. Soon both instructors was in the office. You wanted us? Iruka asked. Yes, have the graduation exam for your class next month, the third said. Why? Iruka asked, surprised. Why are you so surprised, Iruka? You see it just as clearly as we do. This class is mostly clan heirs. Then there is Naruto, who lives with 3 Chunin kunoichis, and Sakura has been improving so rapidly even she is Chunin level now. Keeping them in the academy will only hold them back and cause problems with the gap that's as between shinobi families and non-shinobi families, Mizuki said. Exactly. I already have enough problems with how strong this senior class is. I don't need more by keeping obvious Chunin level shinobi in the academy, the third said. Okay, but what will we test? Iruka said. The third thought, genjutsu, ninjutsu, and taijutsu, and they need to pass 2 of them with a perfect and the last with at least 50 inches, he said. Okay, Iruka said. A month later the entire senior class all passed the genin test. They each had their weapons strapped on them since they was genin now and not students. The surprise to everyone, but Sasuke who didn't really care, was that Sakura walked in the room with a giant battle ring being held over her shoulder. Her Hitai was firmly on her arm, which surprisingly to her everyone else's was. Iruka walked in the room. I still don't think those two should be on the same team, he thought. Okay, now we will assign teams, he said, getting everyone's attention. Team Asuma will be Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji. The 3 looked at each other as if they already knew it. Team Kurenai will be Hinata Hyuga, Shino Aburame. Naruto perked up thinking he would be on his cousin's team, and Kiba Inuzuka, he said. Everyone looked in surprise that Naruto wasn't put on Kurenai's team. Even Sasuke seemed surprised by this. Iruka cleared his throat. Now for the kunai in the heart, he thought. Team Kakashi is Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, and Naruto Yuhi, he said. Everything stopped. The birds outside stopped flying. The ants stopped taking food to their queen ant. Passing civilians stopped walking. Everything stopped. Even time seemed to stand still as soon as the last team was said. Even Iruka got nervous at what would happen. Both Naruto and Sasuke looked at Iruka as if they heard wrong. Sakura just stood there not knowing what to do. Sasuke looked over at Naruto, who looked over at Sasuke. They both slowly went for their weapon, and was in the middle of the room. There was a loud clank, and a surprise to everyone in Konoha. Kakashi Hatake was early for the first time in over 15 years. He blocked both their attacks with a tanto and kunai. You two will have to put your differences aside and learn to work together, he said. They both glared, and Sasuke put his katana in its sheath and Naruto connected his rod back to his back holster. Good, now meet me on the roof, he said. Kurenai walked in just as he said that. Well, at least you can control your students, she said. Lovely day to you, to Kurenai-chan, he said. Naruto glared at the back of Kakashi's head and quickly hit him hard with his rod and walked up to his cousin. Not on my watch, Kakashi, he said. Kurenai laughed. Oh son, I'm flattered you want to protect me, but I can take care of myself, she said. I know, but it's my responsibility to keep all perverts and possible heartbreakers away, and every male fits one of those descriptions, Naruto said. Kurenai just sighed. Are you going to always be like this? She asked. Naruto shrugged. Ask Hayate, he'd been trying to get with Yugo Kasan for 2 years now, he said. Kurenai just laughed while everyone else sweat dropped. Hey chain smoker, stop looking at Kasans, Naruto yelled, swinging his rod at Asuma. I heard of overprotective Kasans but never overprotective sons, Iruka said. Team Kurenai, let go before someone gets hurt. See you later, Naru-chan, Kurenai said. Team Asuma, let's get out of here before this kid takes my head off, Asuma said. To the roof, Kakashi said. All 3 Junins left via Shunshin. Sakura was walking to the hospital for her training with Tsunade. When she got there, Ino, Tenten, and Hinata was already there waiting on Tsunade. So Sakura, how did it go? Hinata asked. I have a lot of work to do if I'm to keep them from killing each other, she said. Most kunoichis do, you just need to put your foot down and take control of the team, Tsunade said, walking in. Have you seen Sasuke-kun and Naruto together in the same room? Sakura asked. Tsunade looked at her. Well, you are the team medic and the smartest one on the team, she said. Sakura sighed. Those two only hate in this world as each other, she said. Tsunade laughed. Sounds like my old team. Let's hope one of them don't turn into an Orochimaru, she said. I hope not, he creeps me out, Sakura said. Yay, lucky you. Me and Jiraiya stopped him before he came to the village a few years ago. Now let's stop the talk, we have training to do. I want each of you to show me you mastered the strength jutsu, she said. Kakashi stood in front of the 4 genin teams. Okay, usually this isn't done, but since I made a promise I have to keep it. And I brought the rest of my team because they was going to learn it anyway. Now we will begin the training to learn Chidori. You each should have it learned in a month or 2, he said. Wait, I can't learn jutsus, Lee said. Oh well then here. He threw Lee a scroll. It has some extra chakra bandages in them. You can use them for your taijutsu because they take such a small amount that they are the perfect weapon for you. I already put chakra in them to last for a few months, after which you will need to have a friend put some in them, he said. Thanks. Lee took off his bandages off his wrists and replaced them with the ones Kakashi gave him. 2 months later, Sakura was finally able to get Sasuke and Naruto to at least work together long enough to get the D-ranked missions they went on finished. The only C-ranked, she literally threatened them to work together or she would watch them die from being wounded while fighting each other for the leader of the team. She then told them she would be the leader, and if they had a problem with it, well, she punched the ground making a huge rift in it, making both shut up and gulp. Kakashi had to hold back his laughter at them when she did that. Now the team was in the Hokage's office. I have a B-ranked mission for your team Kakashi, the Hokage said. Oh, why give a B-rank to Genins? Kakashi asked. You will be doing a joint mission with Kurenai's team. You will have to go to Wave and rid them of the missing nins who are trying to take over. I would have had guys do go with you, but they are on a joint B rank with Asuma's team, the third said. Missing nins? Kakashi asked. Yes, mostly Chunin ranked with a Junin or two, the third said. Okay, do Kurenai knows about the mission? Kakashi asked. Yes, I informed her team right before yours, the third said. Okay, we will be going. Then Team Kakashi left. The two teams was walking to Wave with Shino and Sasuke in the front, Kiba and Naruto second, and Hinata and Sakura bringing up the rear. As they walked, Shino would constantly send bugs out to scout ahead, Kiba would sniff the air, which Sakura and Hinata thought was gross, and Hinata would look around with her Byakugan. Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke all had increased their senses to be able to tell what was around them. Kakashi and Kurenai talked as they followed behind their students, mostly about previous missions and the training of their genins. As they walked, Kiba sniffed again. The air is getting colder like water is near. Hinata, are you doing it? He said. No, not me, she said, turning on her Byakugan. Up ahead is a puddle, that's why, she said. But it hasn't rained in weeks, Sakura said, shifting her ring on her back. Kakashi looked at Kurenai and they both went through some hand signs. That is not puddle, but shinobi. My bugs picked up 3 chakra signatures. Should I have them attack them now or wait? Shino asked. No, Naruto, Sasuke, and Kiba yelled at the same time. Naruto and Sasuke glared while Kiba laughed a little. A little ways away, Kurenai turned to Kakashi. How did you get them to work together? She asked. Actually, it was Sakura. Punching a rift in the ground can get anyone to cooperate, he said. Yes, Hinata did something similar, except she slapped a boulder and it broke to get Kiba to behave on missions, Kurenai said. As the genin got closer to the puddle, they all got ready in case it turned out to be an enemy. As soon as the senseis was past the puddle, the 3 came out and got rid of them. They then ran at the genins. Sakura pulled her ring off her back and jumped through it, kicked one of the shocked ninjas. Hinata hit the other with a few Jukin strikes until he was unconscious. Sakura then swung her ring over her head and down in a diagonal motion, knocking the ninja back. Kakashi and Kurenai came out the trees and grabbed one of the ninjas each. They looked for the third but saw him on the ground with a katana, rod, and scythe against his body. Shino was just shaking his head at the 3. They continued to wave after the 3 was tied up, and a message was sent to the village for hunter nins to come get them. Once they got there, the sensei sent the genins out to scout the village. Naruto and Hinata walked off together, Sasuke walked off with Shino, and Kiba and Sakura walked the same way. Naruto and Hinata walked through the northern part of the village and was disgusted at what they saw. Hinata was even spinning her elbow knives around, wanting to cut something. They turned a corner and heard a female scream out for help. They both went to see what was happening and saw a shinobi about to rape a girl. Hinata vanished and kicked him in the head and helped the girl up. The shinobi tried to get off the ground. Don't move, Naruto said, pushing the end of his rod onto his chest. Naruto, we have to get her to safety, Hinata said. Okay. Naruto then brought his rod above his head and down on the shinobi's crotch and walked off behind Hinata. The 6 made it back to their senseis after an hour of walking around. They all reported what they saw, even the attempted rape Hinata and Naruto saw. Kakashi went to work developing a plan to get rid of the shinobi. A few minutes later, he walked out and found a random shinobi. Hey, who is in charge? He asked. Zabuza and Kisame. Why? The shinobi asked. Tell them Kakashi, Hatake, and Kurenai Yuhi are here with our genin, and they can either come and fight us or we will come find them, killing everyone in our path until we reach them, Kakashi said. The next day Zabuza and Kisame came to the empty field the Konoha Nins was at with all 12 of their subordinates. Kakashi Hatake and Kurenai Yuhi, what brings you two here? Zabuza asked. You two, now we will give you and your subordinates the chance to leave, Kakashi said. What are 2 Junins and 6 Genins going to do, make us? Kisame asked while laughing. Yup. Kurenai said. Yay, right. Haku, take care of the Genin, Zabuza said. Yugura Yuta, Kisame said. Sasuke and Naruto, you're up, Kakashi said. You must have a lot of confidence in those two, Zabuza said. You will see my confidence, Kakashi said. Naruto and Sasuke walked up, meeting Haku and Yugura in the middle of the two teams. Naruto and Sasuke had their element whipping around them as they prepared for battle. This surprised the missing nins, but Yugura smirked and pointed to Sasuke. You boy are strong but still not enough to beat Haku. He then pointed to Naruto. You boy are like me, a weapon of destruction, let's see who is stronger, he said. Naruto looked at him. I'm nothing like you, he said. Enough talk, let's fight, Sasuke said. Haku made a sword out of ice and attacked Sasuke, who blocked with his katana. They exchanged strikes at high speeds. Sasuke swung his katana, making lightning fly at Haku. He dodged and ran at Sasuke. Sasuke met him and the two exchanged blows some more, then Haku jumped back and went through some hand signs. Hyouten, demonic ice mirrors, he said. Sasuke found himself surrounded by 12 giant mirrors made of ice. He looked around and Haku was in one of them. You're fast, but now I will show you real speed. Haku then vanished and Sasuke was hit with a Senbon. Sasuke tried to dodge them, but they was coming in too fast. He activated his Sharingan and was able to see where the Senbons was coming from and dodged, but still wasn't able to land a hit on Haku. He looked around and got an idea. Haku attacked him with more Senbons and used a substitution jutsu and was replaced by a log. Chidori, he yelled and smashed it into the back of a mirror, causing Haku's concentration to break and the rest of the mirrors to fall apart. Sasuke then put his katana through Haku's stomach. Looks like you underestimated me, he said, then pulled it out and walked away. Haku was always too careless. Looks like it's our turn, Yugura said. Naruto pulled out his rod and twirled it a few times. Let's go, he said. Yugura vanished and Naruto followed. There was a bunch of loud clanks and ice hitting the ground. Everyone looked surprised. Where is the ice coming from? Sakura asked. They are using their elements in their attacks and they are so powerful that when they hit the combine into ice, Hinata said. How that should be impossible? Kiba asked. It is, unless the two fighting is getting a power boost, Kurenai said. What kind of power boost can result in something like that? Kiba asked. A Jinchuriki, Kurenai said. What's that? Sakura asked. A human sacrifice or host, Kakashi said. What does that have to do with Naruto-kun? Hinata asked. You will see, Kurenai said. Yugura pulled his katana back and swung it at Naruto. He dodged and slashed his rod sideways at him. Yugura was hit, but it didn't affect him as he continued to attack Naruto. He pushed Naruto back. You're good, I'll give you that, but now it's time to end this. Yugura then started to release Sanbi's chakra. Green chakra started to form around Yugura in the form of a turtle. What is that? Naruto asked. This is my demon, the three-tailed turtle, Yugura said. He then vanished. Everyone looked around for him. He appeared and stabbed Naruto through the stomach and out the back. Naruto! Hinata yelled. She tried to run to him but was held back by Kakashi. No, you can't do nothing to help him, he said. I'm a trained medic, I can do something, she yelled. No, with him still here you won't even get close to Naruto, Kakashi said. What do? We have to get to him, Hinata said. We need a plan. Kurenai, any ideas? Kakashi said. Kurenai didn't answer. He turned. Kurenai, you okay? He asked. My son, she yelled with tears in her eyes. Naruto was laying in front of a gate. Inside the gate, Kyuubi sat waiting for him to wake up. After a few minutes, Naruto started to wake up. Where am I? He said. The one of the few times you have visited me and it's because you are dead. How pathetic, Kyuubi said. What do you mean dead? Naruto asked. I mean what it sounds like. Yagura and his three-tailed turtle Sanbi killed you, but luckily for you I'm sealed in you so you get another chance at life, but it's going to cost, Kyuubi said. Cost what? Naruto asked. Freedom. I'm getting out of this seal. Kyuubi was cut off. Like hell I'm letting you out, Naruto yelled. You have no choice in the matter as I'm not ready to die yet, and since you already died I can either let you die and also die or bring you back to life, so shut the hell up and be thankful I'm doing this because while you're arguing with me your cousin is about to be killed, Kyuubi said. What cousin can't be? Naruto said. Oh, she is. Kyuubi then let Naruto see what was happening and Kurenai was indeed about to be killed, so what will it be? Will you take this deal and save your cousin or sit here while she dies? Kyuubi asked. Save my cousin, Naruto said. Good choice. Now I'm going to lend you my power. It will only be the first stage but you will be strong enough to beat a three-tailed demon, Kyuubi said. Then Naruto saw a bright light and was back in the world of the living. Yagura was about to stab Kurenai when there was a flash of red. When it stopped, Naruto was holding Yagura's arm that had his katana in it. Naruto now had red chakra coming out of his body and his hair was furrier, his whisker marks was darker, and his eyes was now red. In Naruto's free arm was his rod. Get away from my cousin, he said, kicking Yagura. Naruto, you're alive, I'm glad, Kurenai said quietly. Cousin, please be okay, I'll take care of him. Naruto then disappeared and kicked Yagura again. You threatened the life of my cousin, you will pay, Naruto said. Yagura got up from the kick. So you finally unlocked your demon power but you don't know how to use it, he said, then attacked Naruto. The two fought. Naruto swung at Yagura who ducked. Naruto made a few hand signs. Chidori, he yelled and charged at Yagura and hit him with the attack. Naruto cut through Yagura but being in demon form he healed faster. You're going to have to do better than that, Yagura said. Try this. Naruto then charged chakra into his hand. Rasengan, he said. The Rasengan was now purple instead of the normal blue color. Naruto shoved it in Yagura's heart and moved it up through his head, killing him and releasing the three-tailed demon from Yagura. That's for hurting my cousin, he said. The chakra then went back into Naruto's body and he fainted. A few hours later, Naruto woke up with his head in Kurenai's lap. He looked around and saw everyone else doing something. He slowly sat up. What happened? He asked. You unleashed Kyuubi and killed Yagura and somehow released the demon that was sealed in him, Kurenai said. Oh, I talked with Kyuubi and he said I died, and showed me you about to be killed, Naruto said. No need to explain to me, Naru-chan, I know why you did it, and I'm proud that you was able to keep the control you did while under Kyuubi's chakra, Kurenai said. The others walked up to them after they saw Naruto was awake. What the hell was that? Kiba yelled. Naruto took a deep breath. I have Kyuubi no Kitsune sealed in me. When Yagura killed me, Kyuubi wasn't ready to die, so he brought me back to life, which released his seal enough to let his chakra get out, and I used it to kill Yagura when I saw him trying to kill my cousin, Naruto said. You mean the Yondaime didn't kill Kyuubi? Sakura asked. No. He sealed it in my son. It was the only way to save the village and everyone's life in it, Kurenai said. You're still Naruto-kun to me, Hinata said. Cousin, I have something to tell you, Naruto said. What's that? Kurenai asked. Kyuubi said it will get freedom from doing this but never said what type of freedom, Naruto said. Kurenai lifted up Naruto's shirt. You still have the seal on you. And we haven't seen any person or kitsunes around, she said. Just then someone walked up. Excuse me, she said. They turned around and all 5 of the guys passed out from blood loss. Kurenai looked her over. Hinata and Sakura had deep blushes on their face. Here, Kurenai said, handing her an extra pair of clothes. What are those for? She asked. Well, you can't keep walking around like that. My son is here and I don't need him turning into a pervert, Kurenai said. She looked down. Oops, sorry. She took the clothes and put them on. Thank you. Maybe you should wake them up, she said. After waking the guys up, Kurenai turned to her. Okay, who are you and why was you? She asked. I'm always when I become human, she said. Huh? Kurenai said. Maybe I should explain, she said. That's a good idea, Kurenai said. Well, my real name is Kiki, but you may know me as Kyuubi. I'm the demon lord, or lady if you prefer, and when I change from demon form into human form I'm always usually I keep clothes with me, but being sealed for 11 years I didn't have any, she said. So why are you here? Kakashi asked. Well, if you preferred one I could have let Naruto die, but some people like having him around, Kiki said. No, that's not what I mean. What I'm asking is why you're out of you seal, Kakashi said. Oh well, when a Jinchuriki releases their demon power for the first time, the demon is granted different abilities. The one-tailed can take over its host if he sleeps. The two-tailed can take control anytime her Jinchuriki lets her. You saw the three-tailed, and so on and so forth up to me, who I'm able to come out the seal and live as I normally would, but my power is cut down dramatically to the level of one of your cages, Kiki said. So you only have the power of a cage? Kurenai asked. Yup, unless Naruto goes one-tailed form, then I get the equivalent amount of power. Put it this way, I can get stronger by training or by him using more of my chakra, Kiki said. So I have a question, how strong is the Baka? Sasuke asked. Well, he is as strong if not stronger than you, but with my chakra he can take on low-level Junins, but you can't tell anyone about me being Kyuubi. If you do I'll kill you, Kiki said. Hold on, Naruto spent his entire life with you sealed in him, Sakura asked. Yes, Kiki said. So that's why everyone hates him, she asked. Yes, Kiki said. But it's not like he asked for you to be sealed in him, Sakura said. Tell that to the villagers and your Otusan, Kurenai said. The two teams and Kiki was in the Hokage's office. So you're Kyuubi? He asked again. Yes, how many times do we have to explain it? Kiki said, annoyed. Okay, but how did you get out the seal? He asked. He died. Didn't you listen to the report? It was clearly stated that Naruto was killed by the three-tailed Jinchuriki, Kiki said. So why didn't you help him before he died? The third asked. What difference would it have made? I could have told him what was happening, but the seal was still intact, so I couldn't do more than that, Kiki said. Okay, I need you, Naruto, and Kurenai to come to the council meeting later today, the third said. Fine, whatever, I'm hungry, Kiki said. Come on, let's go home, Kurenai said. I'll be right back, you can make something to eat if you want, Kurenai said. She then walked upstairs. Yugo, Anko, you here? She asked, knocking on their doors. Anko opened her door. Yugo is on a mission, she said. Oh, we have to talk, she said. What, right now? You just got back. Can't it wait a few minutes? Anko asked, wrapping her arms around Kurenai and pulling her into her room. Kurenai kissed Anko. Sorry, but this is important. It's about Naru-chan, she said. Anko leaned her head back and looked Kurenai in the eyes. What happened? Is he okay? She asked. Yes, he died during the mission though. Kurenai then explained what happened. I see. Is she here now? Anko asked. Yes, she is downstairs with Naru-chan, but she can be hurt just like any other human can since she is not in her demon form, Kurenai said. Kasen? Naruto asked from the door. He was used to seeing Kurenai and Anko kiss. Yes, Naru-chan, Kurenai said. The chain smoker is here again, he said. Asuma, why? She asked. He said he was looking for you. I told him you wasn't interested, but he wouldn't listen to me, Naruto said. Anko laughed. He does that to every male that comes around us, don't he? She asked. Yay. Lucky for Yugo, she got to spend time with Hayate while he was on his mission, Kurenai said. Should I send him away? Naruto asked. No, I'll be down in a few, Kurenai said. 10 minutes later, Kurenai came downstairs with Anko. Hey Asuma, she said. Hey Kurenai, how was the mission? He asked. It was good, Kurenai answered. Asuma looked around. What are you doing? Anko asked. Looking for Naruto. He can be dangerous when it comes to you three, he replied. Don't worry, he is in the library, Kurenai said. Oh, okay, well, Kurenai want to go out for drinks later, he asked. Hey, stop hitting on my cousin chain smoker, Naruto yelled out of nowhere, swinging his rod at Asuma's head. Asuma fell from being hit in the head. Anko and Kiki laughed. Kurenai sweat dropped. Naru-chan, stop doing that, she told him. Hey, I'm just doing my job, she smiled sweetly. Your job? Kurenai asked. Yup, it's my job to make sure you're safe of all perverts and heartbreakers, Naruto said. Kiki, get him out of here, Kurenai almost yelled. What cousin, I live here too, Naruto protested. Get out, Naru-chan, Kurenai yelled. Anko fell over laughing. But cousin, we have to see those jerkasses, Naruto said. Damn it, I forgot about that, Kurenai said. What's wrong? Anko asked, trying to stop laughing. Well, we have to go see the council about Kiki, Kurenai said. Well, we better get going, Anko said. Asuma, I'll see you later, Kurenai said once they got out the house. I'm watching you, Naruto yelled. They walked into the council office and was surprised to see Tsunade and Shizune there. Why are you here? Naruto asked. I'm here because I'm the last of the Senji clan and Shizune is my apprentice and goes where I go, Tsunade said. Okay, let's get on with this. Everyone is aware of the mission. Team Kakashi and Team Kurenai was sent on, right? The third asked. Yes, I was informed of the details of the mission by Hinata, Hiashi said. I was also informed of it by Kiba, Tsunade said. So was I, Fugaku said. Same, Shibi said. Well, that's good. He then went to tell the rest of the council of the mission. Why does that cause to have a council meeting over? Danzo asked. Well, you wasn't told the full report. Why they didn't tell you, I don't know, the third said. What was missing? Asked Homura. I'm Kyuubi, Kiki said. Everyone looked at her. Excuse me, I think I heard wrong, Danzo said. You didn't hear wrong, you old fuck. I said I'm Kyuubi, she said again. How is it possible you're out? I knew we should have killed him when we had the chance, yelled Sakura's Otusan. Kiki eyes changed from midnight black to her demon eyes. Listen here, you little shit. I didn't break the seal and I didn't take over his body. In fact, he died and I brought him back to life, thus releasing the seal enough so I can get out. Now, do anyone have a problem with that? If so, speak now so I can deal with it, she said. I don't have a problem, but why did he have to die for your chakra to be released? Inoichi asked. He didn't, but he was fighting the three-tailed Jinchuriki and he killed him before Naruto had the chance to unlock my power, Kiki said. So what are you going to do? I mean, if most of your power is still sealed, you can't go that far away, can you? Tsunade asked, genuinely curious. As long as he don't use my chakra when I'm not around, he will be okay if I'm not around, but I will spend most of my time training Naru-kun and maybe Hina-chan, Kiki said. What can you train them in? Hiashi asked. Well, I haven't been alive all these years for nothing. I'm not only the demon lady, but I'm also a master in the shinobi arts. Although most of my power is sealed, so I only have a Kage's level, I'm still skilled enough to kill everyone in this village, she replied. Tsunade thought. What do you know about medics? She asked. Kiki looked at her. Well, what do you want to know? She asked. Well, I'm thinking since I'm the last of my clan, I could start it over, but not with me, she said. Tsunade-sama, what are you talking about? Shizune asked for everyone in the room. Well, I don't want any kids, but I also don't want my Kekkei Genkei to die out. One of my descendants might be able to get it, so I was thinking about a marrow transfusion, Tsunade said. Kiki nodded. Those are tricky business and only a very few should attempt that, and even fewer, mainly you, are able to successfully do it, she said. I know, that's why I haven't had it done, but you being around longer than any of us can hope maybe you have the skills to do it, Tsunade said. I'll get back to you on it. I have to do some research and I haven't even attempted anything that has to do with medics in a few hundred years, Kiki said. Okay, you can find me in the hospital, Tsunade said. Okay. Kiki then turned to the Hokage. I'm going to be passing myself off as an old friend of the Uzumaki family from Whirlpool before our two families was killed off, she said. That's fine with me. He then addressed the rest of the room. No one is to mention anything talked about in this room to anyone. This is an S-ranked secret punishable by immediate death. The only ones able to talk about it is Naruto, Kiki, and his cousins, he said. Jiraiya was sneaking around the newly formed sound. He quit Akatsuki, he thought. He left the shadows that looked over Orochimaru and went further into the village, writing down everything he saw. He ran past a group of sound nins carrying a blonde girl who looked like she was beaten to death. He dropped down behind them and killed the sound nins and took the girl and the lightest sound nin and vanished. A few days after the council meeting, Tsunade was sitting in her office with a pot of coffee and the latest reports from the medic nins who are deployed out in different shinobi teams. She dropped the papers and turned and looked at the dark sky and sighed. Shizune, who was in the office with her, looked at the person she thought of as a cousin. What's wrong? She asked. Nothing, Tsunade replied. Don't give me that, I know you better. Now tell me what's wrong, Shizune said, crossing her arms. Tsunade sighed. He hasn't wrote once this month, she said. Is this about Jiraiya? You know he is probably looking in on a bunch of women in a bathhouse somewhere right now, Shizune said. I can only hope, but I can't believe that. You don't think something bad happened, Tsunade said. I don't know what to think, I don't know him like you do, Shizune said. That's the problem, we have always kept in touch. Up until now we wrote every month to let the other know that we was okay, Tsunade said. Shizune shook her head. Why do you two even try to stay away from each other? She asked. We tried to be together but it didn't work too well. We just agreed to stay friends, Tsunade said. I see. Shizune then looked out the window. You know, she stopped and concentrated out the window. Tsunade looked at her. I know what? She asked. What's that? Shizune asked, pointing. Tsunade looked out the window. White hair, ridiculous outfit. Why does that seem familiar? She then looked harder. That pervert, she said. Shizune blinked. Jiraiya, how can you tell? She asked. Because I just know, Tsunade said and opened the window. 5 minutes later Jiraiya came through the window. Tsunade looked at him. What are you doing here? She asked. Shizune's sweat dropped. She was just depressed about not knowing where he was, she thought. Jiraiya looked at her. What, I thought you would be happy to see me, he said. Shut up, pervert. Why are you back? I didn't request for you to return, Tsunade said. I know I have a reason. I thought you might want to know Orochimaru is finished creating his village sound and well here, he threw down the first body. You killed one of his nins and brought me the corpse, how thoughtful, she said sarcastically. I know I'm always thoughtful, but anyways you are the best medic, maybe you can get information from him before he rots, Jiraiya said. I can, but I just had my office cleaned and you bring a dead body in it, you know how long it will take to get this smell out, Tsunade yelled while hitting him in the head. Hey, stop, I have another gift for you, Jiraiya said. Tsunade halted her fist. What is it? She asked. Her. He pointed to the girl that somehow appeared next to Shizune. Shizune and Tsunade looked at her. She's still breathing, Shizune yelled, getting down on her knees to check her. Jiraiya, go next door and get a stretcher, Tsunade said. Fine. Jiraiya walked next door. 2 days later Kiki walked into Tsunade's office. What was so important that you ended my day of pranks with Naru-kun and Hina-chan? She asked. Jiraiya brought me 2 bodies back, one a dead sound nin, the other a girl, Tsunade said. What's that have to do with me? Kiki asked. The dead shinobi has the curse seal and I was wondering if you can help me study it since I'm not much of a seal master, Tsunade said. Kiki thought. Sure, maybe we can then get that seal off Anko-chan, she said. Hopefully. Also, the girl has yet to wake up but she is in perfect health. Any idea why? Tsunade said. Kiki shrugged. My medical knowledge is about the same level as yours. Maybe if that Neko was here she could figure it out, she said. I see. Maybe Inoichi will look into her mind. Tsunade said, walking into the room with the dead sound nin. Where is Jiraiya? Kiki asked. Gone. He said he needed to get back to tracking Orochimaru since right now he is the biggest threat, Tsunade said. Kiki had just finished training the 4 genin teams. Well, I'm impressed, although Naru-kun kept bugging me to train the rest of you. Never have I seen this many genins from one village with so much potential, she said. I'm going to be so kick at the upcoming Chunin exams, Naruto said. Hey Ino, Choji said. Yes, she replied. Will you have lunch with me? He asked. She blinked. It's past lunch, she replied. He looked at the ground. Well, will you He stopped thinking how to ask. Sure, I'll go on a date with you, she said. Everyone watched as the two walked off. Hana came up to them. Where are those two going? She asked. A date, Tenten replied. Oh, that's sweet. Kiba-kasen wants you home now, she said. Well, I can use more training with my ring and taijutsu, Sakura said. Come on, let's spar, Hinata said, pulling her elbow knives off her hips. The third sat down looking at Tsunade, Shizune, and another blonde. Okay, who is this? He asked. Well, her name is Kin and she was rescued from sound before Orochimaru was able to mark her, Tsunade said. Rescued by who? The third asked. Jiraiya, he brought her to me, also a dead sound nin. I have been studying him for a few days now, Tsunade said. Did you find anything yet? The third asked. Besides her being kidnapped from her home and an almost beaten to death, nope, Tsunade said. The third looked at Kin. So any idea why you was kidnapped? He asked. No, but my family was killed and I have nowhere to go, she replied. I see. How old are you? He asked. 11 and I was in my village's academy, Kin replied. So do you want to stay here and join the academy? The third asked. Do I have a choice? Kin asked. Don't worry, Kin, I'll personally train you and see that you're treated fairly, Tsunade said. Team Guy, Team Kakashi, Team Kurenai, and Team Asuma was standing in the Hokage's office with other Junins and their genin teams. So are any of your team ready for the exams? The third asked. Team Guy is ready for the exams, Guy said. So is Team Kurenai, she said. My team is also, Kakashi said. Yay, they are ready, Asuma said. Hold on, they might be ahead of the class, but 3 of those teams haven't even been a team for a full 6 months yet, Iruka said. What are you saying? Kakashi asked. I'm saying that they are not ready for these exams, he said. I would have to disagree. I personally know how well Naruto was trained and he is ready for these exams. In fact, I guarantee that he can beat you without even breaking a sweat, Kurenai said. I can honestly tell you that the only person on these teams who might not be ready is Sakura, and that's because she hasn't been training as long as the rest, Asuma said. Either way, Iruka, they are not your students anymore, they are our soldiers and we are their commanders and we know they are ready, so your input is not needed, Kakashi said. This is a mistake, Iruka said. Are you doubting our training? You a Chunin doubting the training methods of a Junin? Kakashi asked. Enough, Iruka, as much as we appreciate your input, you're not in control of these genins, they're Junin sensei as and they think they are ready, so they will be in the exams next month in Suna, the third said. A month later, Shizune, Anko, Yugo, Itachi, Makoto, Hiashi, and the genin teams was leaving Konoha for Suna. Why are all you coming? Questioned Naruto. Because we are security, Hiashi said. We need this much security? Naruto asked. Well, seeing as the exams is in another village, we are just being cautious, Anko said. A few days later they arrived in Suna. The guard led them to their hotel. Okay, I'm taking my team out for a while, Kakashi said. Tsunade and Kiki was sitting in her office. Who would have known that this seal would have been this difficult to figure out, Tsunade said. Truly one of the worst things I have ever seen, but at least we found out how to remove it, Kiki said. Yes, that's all that matter, Tsunade said. There was a knock on the door. Tsunade-sama, I finished the scroll you gave me, Kin said. Let me see, Tsunade said. Kin brought her the scroll. Impressive, you have potential to be a medic if you want to fully train you in it, Tsunade said. Kin thought about it. Okay, she finally said. Kiki looked at her. Does she have a set taijutsu form? She asked. Not yet. I was going to teach her basic medic taijutsu and let her Junin sensei teach her another form, Tsunade said. I'll teach her, Kiki said. The genins from all the shinobi villages was standing in front of the Suna gate. Okay, this exam is only one part. You will have to survive in Suna's desert for 1 month without help from any outside source. During this month you must fend off any and all enemies. If you can do this you will prove to have what it takes to be Chunin and we will send recommendations back to each of your villages, he said. What if we are unable to complete the month? Will we be able to come back to the village? Naruto asked. Yes, if for any reason you need to come back your team will automatically fail, the Junin said. What about food? Choji asked. There are lizards and other small animals that live in the desert that you can eat, he said. And water? Hinata asked. Well, that's one of the obstacles you have to get around. Now you have 30 minutes to get everything ready, the Junin said. Kiki was chasing Kin around the training ground that they was training in. She put light weights on her to increase her speed and did constant speed and agility training. Kin progressed slowly but steadily. She took medics easier than speed training but ninjutsus better than she took medics. Kin was barely able to dodge the kunais that Kiki was throwing at her as she chased her and was breathing hard. Hey, let's take a break, Kiki said. Okay. Kin then fall back on the ground trying to catch her breath. Why is this so hard? She asked. Don't know, some people learn certain things faster than others, Kiki said. Kin looked at her. Can you teach me to use a weapon? She asked. Sure, what do you have in mind? Kiki asked. Something for long range, Kin said. Tayuya stood in front of Orochimaru breathing hard. Is this the best you have to offer me? If so, you're useless, he said. What? No, I can do better, just give me a chance, she yelled. Fine, one last chance. You have a year to change my opinion on you, he said. Thank you. Tayuya then ran off to do some intense training. Kabuto came up. Why are you giving her so many chances? He asked. Because she is the only person I have found besides Anko who is strong enough to survive the curse seal of that level, Orochimaru said. What about Kimimaro? Kabuto asked. Orochimaru thought. He did survive, didn't he? But his body, if failing him, he will be dead in a few years, he said. I see, so you're forcing her to become strong enough for you to train her the way you want, Kabuto asked. Yes, that, and she still don't follow all my orders, Orochimaru said. Anko didn't either, Kabuto said. Kabuto, if you want to continue to live then don't talk about her around me, Orochimaru said, then walked away. Tayuya ran as fast as she could to the nearest shinobi store. I need weights and weapons, she said. Whoa, slow down. Now what kind of weights you need? The store owner asked. Something that can get me to Junin level speed in less than a year, she replied. I see those are going to run you a few $1,000s, he told her. Orochimaru sent me to get them, Tayuya said. Oh, Orochimaru sent you, then they are on the house. What else did you need? He asked. Chakra paper, a unique weapon, kunais, shurikens, jutsu scrolls, and a new outfit, she said. Okay. He went into the back and came out with everything she wanted. Now for the outfit I need to take measurements, he said. A month later the genin teams was back from the exams and the council was having a meeting. Based on this report from Suna they all should be Chunins, the third said. We should allow all but Demon Gaki to become a Chunin. Having him a shinobi is already a danger, Homura said. If you want to hold him back then both Sakura and Sasuke will have to be held back also, Hiyashi said. Why would that be? Fugaku asked. Because the exam was a team-based exam and the fact that he is one of the strongest genins would be reason enough, Sum said. That don't matter. Having him raise in the ranks is a danger to our image, Kaharu said. Kumo has both of their Jinchuriki rank Junin. Suna just gave their Jinchuriki the Chunin rank. In fact, the only village with a Jinchuriki that hasn't raised their rank is us, Shikaku said. That don't matter, it will make us look weak. We should have him join my division and have him as a weapon, Danzo said. The civilian and elders nodded. What is making us look weak is you trying to prevent him from raising in the ranks with his teammates when it's obvious that he deserves the rank, Hiashi said. Enough, all the genins will be promoted to Chunin, the third said. Tayuya have been doing her intense training for almost a year now and it showed. She was easily one of the strongest in sound. Then she thought, why am I still here? All he wants is to use me, she thought. As she continued her training, damn it, this is too complicated. How did that Anko girl get away? She asked herself quietly. She dropped her whip, which as soon as it left her hands turned back into a rose and sat down next to it to think. Orochimaru walked up. Tayuya, I'm impressed with your progress, so impressed in fact that I want you to lead one of my cells when I attack Konoha in 4 months, he said. She looked up at him. Fine, she said. Good, and if you impress me on the battlefield I will make you one of my personal guards, he said. What a fucking pleasure, Tayuya said. Tsunade stood in front of Kin. You progressed well over the last year. By the time you get on your genin team you should be at least the third strongest of all the genins, she said. Kin nodded. I owe it to you and Kiki, she said. Tsunade looked her over. Go on, have some fun, she said. Okay, bye. Kin then walked out the hospital and saw Hinata. Hey, she yelled. Hinata turned around and saw Kin and smiled. Hello Kin, how is training? She asked. Tsunade-sama said I will be the third strongest genin when I get put on a team, Kin replied. That's great, Hinata said. So what you doing? I was given the day off, Kin said. Me to want to walk together, Hinata asked. Sure. The two walked on. Kabuto, is everything ready? Orochimaru asked. Yes, but Tayuya have become more distant since she finished her personal training 3 months ago, Kabuto said. Don't worry, after we destroy Konoha she will become my new body, Orochimaru said. She is posted at the south entrance like you wanted, Kabuto said. Good, have the summoners start the summoning process. I'm going ahead to kill Sensei, Orochimaru said and vanished. Tsunade was standing in front of the 4 Chunin teams and Kin's genin team with the 5 Junin senseis behind her. She looked around. Something bad is happening, she said. What do you mean, Tsunade-sama? Kin asked. Stop calling me that, it's just Tsunade now, I'm no longer your sensei, and I'm not sure but I have a bad feeling, Tsunade said. The Hokage looked out his window and saw Orochimaru standing at the main entrance. Get the Anbu, he said and vanished. Orochimaru, why are you here? He asked. Sensei, you mean you're not happy to see me? Orochimaru asked. What do you want? Leave now or you will be killed, the third said. Sarutobi, you can't kill me, we all know that, Orochimaru said. The third threw off his robes and hat and was in his Junin uniform. Prepare to die, he said. An Anbu came to Tsunade. Orochimaru is in the village fighting the Hokage-sama now, he said then vanished. Okay, everyone follow me, Tsunade said and led them to where the Hokage and Orochimaru was. They arrived at the spot and saw an Anbu group trying to break down a barrier that was surrounding the third and Orochimaru. There is nothing we can do until the barrier is taken down, Tsunade said. Inside the barrier the third and Orochimaru was fighting using high-speed taijutsu. Orochimaru jumped back and pulled his grass cutter out his mouth. The third summoned King Enma. You should have killed him when you had the chance, the monkey said and turned into a bow staff. They exchanged strikes. Sensei, you have gotten slow, Orochimaru said. I'm still fast enough to kill you, Orochimaru, the third said. Is that what you think? He went through some hand signs. Edo Tensei and 5 coffins came out of the ground. The third looked at them and quickly ran to destroy it. He was able to destroy 3 of them, but the one with the number 4 still was summoned. Orochimaru looked at the 3 destroyed coffins. You may have destroyed the first, second, and Tsukumo, but I still have the 4th, the most powerful of hem, he said. Damn you Orochimaru, why can't you let them rest in peace? The third cursed. Everyone outside the barrier looked on surprised at the summons. The Yondaime looked around. Sarutobi, you're still working? He asked. Sadly yes, the third replied. Well, how is my son? The Yondaime asked. Look for yourself, the third said, pointing to Naruto. The Yondaime looked over at him. He looks just like I did at that age, he said. And acts just like Kushina did, the third said. Who have been taking care of him? The Yondaime asked. Kurenai adopted him as her son. She takes care of him with Anko and Yugo. He sees all three as a cousin, the third replied. This is all great and all, but I need you to destroy this village, Orochimaru said, about to put a kunai into the Yondaime. To Orochimaru's surprise, the King Enma bow staff attacked and knocked the kunai out of his hand. I can't allow you to do that, it said. Damn you, Orochimaru cursed, looking around for his kunai. The Yondaime jumped away from Orochimaru. As long as you're inside this barrier you can never kill him, and since he summoned me I can't fight him for you, he said to the third. I know what I need to do. He then started to go through some hand signs. No, don't do that jutsu, I destroyed it for a reason. How the hell did you get it? The Yondaime yelled at him. I memorized it when you did it for Kyuubi, the third said. He then jumped and kicked Orochimaru and grabbed him. Time to die, he said. Corpse spirit ceiling, he yelled. What, get off me you old fool, Orochimaru yelled. Outside the gate everyone was watching. What is he doing? Naruto asked. Trying to seal Orochimaru inside the death god's stomach, Tsunade said. Will it work? Hinata asked. I don't think so. Sensei is too old and don't have the stamina to completely remove Orochimaru's soul, Tsunade said. I can't completely remove your soul, Orochimaru, but I will take your ability to use jutsus, and the death god cut off his arms and sealed it within himself along with the third. The Yondaime looked down at Hiruzen's dead body. Damn it, why couldn't I help? He yelled. Remove this barrier, Orochimaru yelled. Once the barrier was removed, Orochimaru jumped out. Kabuto, start the attack, he yelled and jumped away. The Yondaime started to slowly fade away. He looked around and saw everyone looking at him and the third. He looked at Naruto, then Kurenai, Anko and Yugo, and walked over to them. He got down on one knee and took off his cloak and put it around Naruto. No matter what you do, I will always be proud of you, son. He then hugged Naruto. He kissed Naruto on the top of the head and looked at Kurenai. Thank you for raising my son. Kushina would be excited to know that her student took her son in, he said. He then went through some hand signs. Scroll summoning, he said, and a giant scroll puffed into his hand. He handed it to Naruto. This is everything that belonged to me and your cousin. He kissed Naruto on the head again and was gone. Everyone just looked at it happen. Naruto was the most shocked and had tears in his eyes. Otusan, he whispered. Then there was a crash as the east wall was taken down by a three-headed snake. Tsunade looked around. Shit, she said. Tsunade calmed herself. Okay, we have no time to lose. Kurenai, Kakashi, Guy, and Asuma, take your teams to the west gate and defend it. Anko, I need that snake gone now. Yugo, you're in charge of the Anbu right now, send them out where the most help is needed. Itachi, take the Uchihas to the gate closest to your compound. Hiashi, take the Hyugas to the gate closest to yours. Hayate, take a group of Junins to the south gate. Shizune, get all medics and have them on standby. And all Genin teams, get the civilians to the safe area now, get moving. She yelled out orders. Kakashi led the team of Chunins to the west gate at a fast pace. Once they got there, okay Hinata, Neji, I need to know how many we are dealing with, he said. Byakugan, they both said. They looked around. Only 200 at best, they said. Okay, now split off into groups of 2 inches. They quickly did as told. Naruto and Sasuke, Hinata and Tenten, Sakura and Ino, Neji and Lee, Choji and Shikamaru. Good, now stay with your partner and let's kick some, Kakashi said. They ran through the gate with weapons at the ready. Sakura spent her ring around her and Ino's head, then brought it down with all her strength, bringing up debris. Ino used this to her advantage and swung her katana, making it come out into whip form, slicing unsuspecting enemies. Sakura then flipped over Ino and cleared a space for them to work by holding her ring at arm's length and spinning really fast. She stopped. "Okay Ino, let's show these asses what a kunoichi can do," Sakura said. "You're on," Ino said with a smirk. An hour later they killed all the sound shinobi that was at this gate. After they was done, Kurenai, who had been back making sure no one got past, along with Asuma, Kakashi, and Guy, went to heal the injuries the Chunins got. "Good, they all are healed now. We need to find out if anyone need help," Kurenai said. An Anbu came up. "The east gate is being overran. Anko sent me to find her help," the Anbu said. "Right, we are on it. Get someone to cover this gate," Kakashi said, and they all took off. "Naruto, get that snake out of here. Anko can't with all these sound nins attacking her," Kurenai said. Summoning no jutsu, Naruto yelled, pushing some of Kiki's chakra into it. Kiki was walking back after her mission and felt the increase in her chakra. "What the hell?" she said, and started to run back. Gamabunta puffed into Konoha and saw what was happening. "Gaki, what is going on?" he asked Naruto, who was on his head while he jumped to stop the snake's advance. "Boss, we are being attacked by sound. Orochimaru already killed the third somehow. Also, I got to see my Otusan. He gave me his cloak and a scroll," Naruto answered. "That's good and all, but now hang on." Gamabunta then jumped and stuck his dagger into the snake, destroying it. "Thanks, boss, that snake halted our recovery," Naruto said. Bunta looked around. "Well, it doesn't look like you need me anymore." He then puffed away when Naruto jumped down. "Good job, Naruto, now get to work," Anko yelled. Tsunade, even being a medic, jumped right into the middle of the battle, putting Shizune in charge of the medic squad. She single-handedly was taking on the entire North Gate army. She punched a creator into the ground and threw it at the oncoming shinobis. And charged right after it, taking on anyone who dared to challenge her. Kiki had ran up to the North Gate and saw Tsunade throwing all shinobis out of her way, killing them in the process. "Su-chan, what's going on?" she said. "We are being invaded. Sensei was killed by Orochimaru," Tsunade said, not stopping her attack. Kiki quickly got into the mix of battle, fighting alongside Tsunade. Jiraiya finally got to within seeing distance of Konoha and saw smoke coming from the village. "Come on, let me be on time," he said, increasing his speed. Kin and the rest of the genins finally got all the civilians into the safe area and went to her sensei. "What do we do now?" she asked. "Now we have to protect them and make sure no one gets inside," he said. Danzo was sitting in the council chamber with Homura and Kaharu. "Damn it, he betrayed us," Danzo said. "Was this not to be expected? He also betrayed Toby," Homura said. "No worries, we still have Toby backing us for our future plans. We just have to make Orochimaru know betrayal is not accepted," Kaharu said. Tayuya watched as most of her group was killed. She was giving Hayate a hard time, but she knew if this went on she would be killed. She looked around. "Where is he?" she asked. "If you're talking about Orochimaru, he left," Kabuto said. "What? He wanted to destroy this village, then run when things don't go his way," she yelled. "Sacrifices are necessary," Kabuto said. "I'm no damn sacrifice. The only reason I'm here is because he claimed to know who killed my parents," Tayuya yelled. "You two want to settle this after our fight?" Hayate asked. "I'm done. You can take me as a prisoner. I'm tired of being betrayed by those who claim they are trustworthy," Tayuya said, and turned her whip back into a rose and walked away. "What the hell, Tayuya? Lord Orochimaru won't be happy about you giving up," Kabuto yelled. "Hell if I care what that dipshit care about. I rather take my chances with Konoha and their interrogation than work for someone who runs when things get hard," Tayuya said. "Damn it, retreat," Kabuto yelled. Anko watched as enemies started to run. "Don't let them get away," she yelled. Hinata jumped in front of them. "Gentle step, twin lion fist," she yelled, and sped off towards the closest retreating enemy and hit him in the back. Hana jumped in right behind her, bow in hand, firing off fire chakra arrows. Eventually the enemies was either dead or too far away to chase, and everyone gathered around where Tsunade was. Today we rest. Tomorrow we fix the village, then next week we have a funeral for every Konoha nin that died, she said. The elders walked up. We need to appoint a new Hokage. I nominate myself, Danzo said. I second that nomination, Homura said. I back him for Hokage, Fugaku said. Does anyone challenge for the position? Koharu asked. I nominate Tsunade of the Senins, Naruto yelled, stepping behind her. I second that nomination, Kurenai said, stepping behind Tsunade with Yugo, Anko, Kakashi, and Hayate along with his prisoner Tayuya. He put chakra cuffs on. Well, we will have a vote, Danzo said. The Anbu back Tsunade, Yugo said. The Junins back Tsunade, Itachi said, surprising everyone. The Hyuga clan back Tsunade, Hiyashi said. So does the Nara clan, Shikaku. The Yamanaka, Inuzuka, Akamichi, and Aburame clan heads walked behind Tsunade. Jiraiya walked up. I also back Tsunade for the Godime Hokage, he said. Looks like you lost, Hinata said. Fine, Danzo said. Tsunade smiled. Now everyone go home and get some rest. Anbu, go release the genins and civilians from the safe area. Tomorrow we will begin rebuilding Konoha, she said. Tsunade was sitting in the office already hating her new job. She looked at all the papers that was on the desk. They expect me to do all this within the next 2 hours, she thought. She pulled the first piece off the stack. Request for a larger building to expand my restaurant. Yuki, owner of the ramen stand. Tsunade signed the request, knowing that it will be good for the village that their newest upcoming restaurant expand quickly. She looked back at the papers and sighed. How did Sensei do this, she thought. As she looked at the papers, something hit her. I'm thinking like the wrong person. How would Naruto finish this work, she thought. She then smiled. Kage Bushin no Jutsu. 3 Tsunades popped into the room. You know what to do, and make sure to read every piece of paper fully before you deny or approve it, and anything written by the council put it in a separate box so that I can go over them when I can devote my full attention to them, and anything that looks suspicious put it in another pile so that Shizune can go over them, the original Tsunade said. She then turned to the stack of missions that have been sent to the village. I'm going to get you for this, Naruto. Even if you did it with the best intentions, you're going to pay, she thought. She picked up the first paper and smiled. Bring me Naruto, Hinata, and Kiki, she said to one of the Anbu guards. A few minutes the three was in the office. You wanted a Su-chan? Naruto asked. Tsunade smiled widely. Yes, now have a seat, she said. The three looked at her suspicious because of her smile and sat down. There is a mission request in from T country. I don't expect it will be hard, but it will have a lengthy time for this type of mission, she said, still smiling. How long? Hinata asked. Anywhere from a few months to a few years, Tsunade said. Years? Naruto and Hinata yelled at the same time. Yup, it could last up to 10 years, although I don't think it will. Just in case you leave at the end of the month to let everyone know. Also, I want a progress report on everything twice a month. If you miss a report for a full month, I will assume the worst and send hunters to recover your body, dead or alive, and don't make me do that if you're still alive because you want like the consequences, and you can send the report through Gamakichi, but it needs to be written, Tsunade said. I'll make sure that you receive the report, Kiki said. Oh, Kiki, you're the leader of this mission, and you're responsible for their training, which I expect them continue no matter the situation in T country, Tsunade said. I will. Anything specific you want them to learn? Kiki asked. Seals for Naruto, medic for Hinata, other than that it's up to you, Tsunade said. Okay, well, see you the day we leave, Kiki said and dragged the two still shocked Chunins out. Tsunade chuckled evilly when they left, which Shizune caught when she walked in. What did you do? She asked. I just sent Naruto and Hinata to T country for a few months to a few years, Tsunade said. Why? Shizune asked. Well, it is an actual mission, but the reason I sent them was because of their nominating me for the Hokage position. This is my first day and the desk was full this morning with problems, also Kiki is the leader of this mission, Tsunade said. Oh, you think it will last for a few years? Shizune asked. Honestly, I hope it only lasts a few months, but with these type of things we can never tell. It all depends on how close T is to setting its own government up, Tsunade said. I see. Shizune sat on the couch. So how is the work coming? She asked. As you see, I had to get some help. Tsunade motioned to her clones. Also, you're going to have to double check everything before I send them off to get processed to make sure I didn't make the usual mistake I make with paperwork, and I want you to check the stuff that I think is suspicious while I check the stuff sent in by the council, she finished. Shizune nodded, already expecting this. I figured you would want me to do that. That's why I moved my office right next door. If you have Yamato create a door for us, we will have direct access to each other, she said. I'll get him to do that, Tsunade said. A month later, Kiki, Naruto, and Hinata was standing at the gate with all their friends. Kurenai, Anko, and Yugo didn't want to let Naruto go at first but knew there was nothing they could do to prevent him from doing his job, so instead they made him promise to write them as much as possible. Hanabi was having similar problems with Hinata, not wanting her to go. Anko had to bribe Hanabi with letting her sign the snake contract when she became a genin. After 10 days of travel they arrived in T country. They was in front of the client, who was the rightful heir to the head of the country, but he was being driven out of the position by his uncle who wanted to turn the country into a gold mine. It seemed to Naruto that the solution was simple, killing the uncle would end all protests, but Hinata informed him that politics wasn't the same as being a shinobi and it took time for these things to be settled. Naruto's face showed his frustration, and both Kiki and Hinata knew why he was frustrated but promised to make everything simple and fun for him. After they had listened to the request of their employer and how he wanted things to go by the book instead of using the ninja he hired to kill his opponents, which frustrated Naruto even more, they left telling Michi that he would have the support of Konohagakure behind him. They was walking out the building. Man, this political stuff is confusing, he said. I know. I never understand why humans bother with it, Kiki said. Because unlike demons or kitsunes, human females can only produce so many times a year, and if we killed each other to get the top spot in politics we would kill off the race faster than we can produce, Hinata explained. So what do we do now? Naruto asked. We need a place to live, and a job so we can support ourselves. The money Tsunade gave us will only last a month, Kiki said. I'm going to apply at the hospital, Hinata said. What can I do? I'm not that good at anything but being a shinobi, Naruto said. Why not apply at the shinobi school and teach something there? Kiki suggested. Good idea, Naruto said and ran off towards the academy. Naruto went into the academy and to the main office. Excuse me, he said. Sorry young man, but we are busy at the moment, can you wait a minute? The busy principal said. Yes ma'am, I'll just sit here until you can get to me, he said. Okay, she said, running out of the office. 30 minutes later she came back and tiredly sat down and looked at Naruto. Sorry, my name is Suduru, how can I help you? She asked. Well, I am new here, and well, I noticed the sign outside. He was cut off. So you want to apply for a position? Suduru guessed. Yes, he said. She looked at him. What skills do you have that will help our academy? She asked. Well, I did defeat a group of 10 Junins on my way here, Naruto told her. I see, impressive. I'll let you know if I have a position. You should get a response in 2 days, she said. Okay, thank you, Naruto said and left. Kiki and Hinata met up with Naruto. Come on, I got us an apartment. It's only 2 bedrooms though, so me and Hina will share a room, Kiki said. Okay, the principal said I should get a reply from her in 2 days, Naruto told them. I got a job, right now. Since this is the first time I worked in a hospital, I'm only a nurse, but the head of the hospital said that I can move up fast if I have the skills for a new position, Hinata said. Great. I got a construction job, Kiki said. A month later the three was settled into their new home, each had started their job, although Naruto had the hardest time because he was 13 teaching kids who was well 13 in the arts of a shinobi, so it's safe to say most of the time he had yell at the kids for not listening. It wasn't that the kids didn't like him, just they didn't respect him enough to really pay attention to him. So while Naruto sat in the teacher's lounge eating the lunch Hinata made him, there was a scream outside. All the teachers ran to see what it was and saw 5 men holding a student with a kunai to her neck. "What's going on?" Suduru yelled. "We need this girl for ransom, so no one move and she won't be hurt," the man said. "Let her go, you can take me instead," Naruto tried. "Yay right, no one even knows you," the man said. "So why do you need her?" Naruto tried to go another way. "She is the daughter of Michi. We are going to use her to force him to run his campaign the way we want it to be ran and then use him to give control of this country to Orochimaru-sama," he said. "Is Orochi-tem here?" Naruto asked. "What, he don't have time to deal with things like this, that's why he are here," the man said. "That's good to know." Naruto bit his thumb and vanished. He hit the man who was holding the girl with his now summoned rod. The man dropped the girl, which Naruto caught, and was back by the principal. He sat her down and ran at the 5 men. Kage Bushin no Jutsu, he called out, summoning 4 clones. They each charged a Rasengan and hit the men in the back. Once the 5 men fell unconscious, Naruto summoned another clone. "Take them to Hina, she will know what to do," he said. Once they was gone, the principal clapped for him, which everyone else soon joined in. "Nice job, Naruto. I think you will be a great teacher here," she said. Naruto smiled and scratched the back of his head. "Kasen taught me to always help those in need," he said. Hinata walked into their apartment and sat on the couch. "I was told what happened. You did good, Naru-kun," she said. "Any one of us would have done the same thing," Naruto said. "I think Kiki would have killed them," Hinata said. "Hey, can we have ramen for dinner?" Naruto begged. Hinata shook her head. "Sure, but we are not having it every day. Once a week is enough," she said. "What, ramen is the best food ever, how can I only have it one day a week?" Naruto complained. "I agree, we will only have ramen once a week, and you can have some every holiday," Kiki said, coming out of the kitchen. "Don't you have work to grade or something?" Hinata asked Naruto. "I have a clone doing that stuff," Naruto said. "Well, we had a month to get settled. Now it's time to start training. Come on, I found one of the few training grounds in this country, and lucky us it's close," Kiki said, walking out the apartment, leaving no room for a discussion. Naruto and Hinata just followed, knowing nothing they said could change her mind on training. The 3 walked into a small training area. "Okay, now this training will be intense, but only last for 3 hours each and every day, except holidays and Sundays, which will be the day you 2 use to heal from the week's training," Kiki said. "Why do I have a feeling that this will be worse than those years I trained with Kasen?" Naruto said. "Because it will. I'm a demon, a damn powerful demon. I don't take no shit while training and I expect perfection," Kiki said. "Well, what do we do first?" Hinata asked, wanting to get this over with. "First thing I'm training you in is speed, then strength. I'm going to teach you to use your chakra to enhance your strength so that you won't have to get all bulky," Kiki said. "This don't involve boulders, do it?" Naruto asked. "No, just a simple genjutsu that all kitsune demons go through," Kiki said, smiling. Kiki gathered chakra to her eyes. "Demonic jutsu, kitsune training," she said. The world around the 2 13-year-olds went dark for a few seconds as the genjutsu took effect. Hinata activated her Byakugan. "Don't bother, Hina, you can't see through it," Kiki told her. The area started to become light again. The entire training area was covered with traps, mines, explosive tags, mountains, kitsunes of all different sizes and colors. "Welcome to the kitsune training area. I created this ages ago to help train other kitsunes in the art of stealth and speed, which kitsunes are known for. You are the first humans to ever go through this training," Kiki said. "This will increase our speed and strength?" Naruto asked. "No, only your speed. I'm going to do strength in 90 minutes, Kiki said. How do we do this? Hinata asked. Well, this genjutsu automatically adjusts to everyone in it so that it adds weight to their body to increase their speed. All you have to do is run the course for 90 minutes, at which time I will remove the genjutsu, Kiki told them. That is easy, Naruto said. Oh, one more thing. Those kitsunes you see, they will be attacking you and you will feel every hit, so don't slow down because they want. Now you better get going, they are coming, Kiki told them. The two started to run from the kitsunes while Kiki took out a scroll and added to what she already written for Tsunade. 90 minutes later, Kiki ended the jutsu and the two tired teens fell to their knees. Get up, time got strength training, she told them. How does this work? Naruto asked tiredly. All you need is a genjutsu on your body that enhances strength instead of speed, she told them, and put a genjutsu on the two. Now time for sparring, she told the two. Tsunade was sitting in her office when Gamakichi popped into the room. Do you have my scroll? She asked the toad. Yup, but you're not getting it until you pay the toll for it, Gamakichi said. Shizune, bring me a bag of chips, she told her assistant in the next room. Shizune came in with a bag of chips. If you're hungry, you should eat food and not snacks, she said. It's not for me, it's for Kichi. You know how those toads get about delivering messages, Tsunade said. Oh, well, here Kichi, Shizune said. Kichi swapped the scroll for the chips and popped away. We need to get a drawer just for him to have his chips in, Shizune said. Tsunade nodded while she opened the scroll. Well, it looks like Kiki started training them and is not taking it easy. She is putting them through the Kitsune Genjutsu to increase their speed, she told Shizune. I miss them already, Shizune said. I do too, and from this letter they might be there for a while. Michi has little support with his opponent scaring everyone from voting for him, Tsunade said. Will you really keep them there for the entire 10 years, Shizune asked. What, no way. At most I will let them stay for a few years, and if nothing changes I'll bring them back, Tsunade said. How many years until you decide? Shizune asked. I think 2 years is long enough for some progress to be shown that things are turning around and it's worth keeping them there, Tsunade said. I agree, Shizune said. Now on to our mess. Anything interesting in your sack of papers? Tsunade asked. Well, there was a request by an unnamed source to enter someone named Sai into the shinobi force, more specifically put on Team 7 inches, Shizune said. And what did you find out about him? Tsunade asked. Besides the fact that he has absolutely no idea what an emotion is, Danzo trained him and was the reason his only friend died, Shizune said. You think it's worth it? Tsunade asked. If we can gain Yuya's trust for her to become a Chunin, then I think we can win him over from Danzo, if we interacted with the right people, Shizune said. So are we putting him on Team 7? Until Naruto returns, that is, Tsunade asked. I think we should. They do need an extra member, Shizune said. Kiba was walking through the village when he spotted Kin and ran up to her. Hey Kin, how is everything? He asked. Good. How is things with you? She asked. Things are okay, but we can't go on missions because we don't have another teammate yet, Kiba said. Poor Kiba, Kin teased. I'm serious. All Sensei has been doing is training me and Shino into the ground. I think she is taking her frustration of missing Naruto out on us, Kiba said. That don't sound like Kurenai Sensei. I just think she wants you to be as strong as possible, Kin told him. I guess. Kiba shrugged. They stood there in an awkward silence. Hey Kin, will you go on a date with me? Kiba asked all of a sudden. Kin looked at him. I didn't know you was so forward, she said. Kiba shrugged. It's not like I have anything to lose. Yuya turned me down, Hinata turned me down, Ino, Sakura, and Tenten all turned me down sometime during the past year. At least I know I gave it a shot. If you turn me down, he said. Wow, all them turned you down, Kin said. Yay, but they also said they was into someone else. Well, except Yuya, who said she liked me enough to be around me for 5 minutes, Kiba said. Kin laughed. That girl is something else. I like her, we have actually became good friends, she helps me with my training, she said. Oh, Kiba said. I guess I can give you a chance, Kiba, Kin told him. Really? He asked in his excitement. Kin giggled. Yes, I can. Just don't talk to Akamaru too much around me, that's too weird for me, and don't become all protective and you will be good, she said. Okay, I won't, Kiba said. Lee was following Hana through Konoha. Why do I have to change my outfit? It shows my youthfulness, he said. All it shows is your stupid fashion sense, Lee, and if you really want to date me you will do this for me. That's all I'm asking. Stop being like Guy. One of him is enough for this village, it's time to become your own person. And stop yelling all the time, I'm 2 steps in front of you, Hana said in frustration. But Hana, he was cut off. Look, Lee, you're a great shinobi, but no one will take you serious as long as you act like Guy, and you will never have many friends if you keep scaring them off with your constant yelling, Hana said. Lee sighed in defeat. You think it's a good idea? He asked. If I didn't, I wouldn't have suggested it. Now what style of clothes do you want? I'll even buy them for you, Hana asked. Well, I guess the standard Anbu outfit, but in green would do for me, he replied. Good. Now do you have a weapon? Hana asked. No, I don't like using weapons besides the basic kunai and shuriken, he said. Well, in that case, will you be willing to get seals on your arms right under your palms that store kunais and shuriken? She asked. Sure, as long as they don't take much chakra to activate, Lee said. Don't worry, Jiraiya can make it so you can use it whenever you want, Hana said. After 2 months of work, the three was able to put their money together and buy a bigger place. The place they bought was a 4-bedroom 2-story house. It was 4 bedrooms because there was no 3-bedroom houses for sale. The house itself was medium in size with a large backyard, which made Naruto think that they paid more for the yard than the house itself. Kiki told them that they would start training in their yard instead of going to the training grounds. Hinata and Kiki was in the yard sparring since Naruto was sleeping. They both had the day off. It was early in the morning, so nothing was opened. As they was sparring, someone appeared in their yard. Make that 3 someones. Kiki and Hinata immediately got into their attack mode until they recognized the chakras of the 3 intruders. Gaara, Temari, Kankuro, what are you 3 doing here? Hinata asked. Tsunade informed us of your mission here and we wanted to make sure everything was going fine, Temari answered. Well, I for one am happy to be out of Suna for a few days, Kankuro said. Where is Naruto? Gaara asked. He is sleeping, Hinata answered. When does he wake up? Gaara asked. In a few hours, he usually sleeps in on the weekends. Let's go walk around. I know everything is closed, but it will give us something to do, unless of course you all want to spar, Kiki said. I will wait for Naruto to wake up to spar him. I want to test out the new skills Shukaku have trained me in, Gaara said. What Shukaku trained you? He ain't trying anything, is he? If so, then I will put him in his place, Kiki said. Well, he hasn't tried anything yet, just said I will need more advanced skills for the upcoming events that all Jinchuriki will face, Gaara said. Oh, I see. Well, if he tries to take control of you even once, let me know. Also tell him I said he better let you sleep or he is in for a world of hurt when I see him, Kiki said. Temari looked at Hinata. So what is there to do in this country? Is the tea good? She asked. Surprisingly, they sell more sake than they sell tea, but we don't drink sake and the tea is some of the best I have ever tasted, Hinata told her. Gaara jumped on the roof and laid down looking at the sky. The rest started to leave the house. Gaara, you coming? Temari yelled. No, he replied. An hour later, Naruto woke up and showered and went to eat some cereal when he sensed Gaara on the roof. He grabbed a bowl, milk, and cereal and jumped onto the roof. Hey Gaara, when did you get here? He asked. An hour ago, Gaara answered. I see. Where is Temari and Kankuro? Naruto asked. Went walking with the others, Gaara answered. I feel sorry for him, Naruto said and starting to eat his cereal. You know all Jinchurikis are in danger, Gaara said. Naruto shook his head. There is a group in S-rank ninjas that are killing them to take their biju to make some ultimate weapon. Shukaku is training me to fight them. Temari and Kankuro also increased their training, Gaara told Naruto. Me and Hina are being trained by Kiki personally, Naruto said. Just make sure to keep an eye out for them, and if you can fight them one-on-one, that's the best way to kill them, Gaara said. Right, want to spar? Naruto asked. Let's go, Gaara said. The two jumped off the roof. Naruto set his stuff on the deck and got into his stance. They attacked each other, blocking, dodging, and countering. Gaara created a sand spear while Naruto pulled out his rod from its seal and they attacked each other again. Gaara and Naruto got faster and faster as they attacked each other again. Gaara swung his spear at Naruto's head, who ducked and swiped at Gaara's feet with his rod. Gaara maneuvered in the air so that he was coming down at Naruto with this spear posed to strike through his head. Naruto made a quick sidestep and brought his rod around and hit Gaara in the back full force. They was about to start attacking again when they noticed the return of Hinata, Kiki, Temari, and Kankuro, and they was watching them. They looked back at them. Well, at least you both improved, Kiki finally said. Is that all you have to say? Naruto asked. Kiki shrugged. Why didn't you put your stuff up when you was finished? She asked, pointing to his used cereal bowl, and the milk and cereal. Tsunade was looking over the reports from Kiki, comparing them to the last few she got. She sighed in annoyance. This mission is not going how we thought it would, she told Kurenai, Anko, Yugo, Hiashi, and Shizune. What do you mean? Kurenai asked. Well, they are going great with their training. Naruto and Hinata are learning to be self-efficient and how to make money using their ninja skills, but the actual mission is looking like it's going to be a failure, Tsunade said. You mean that politically Michi has made no strides to fight back for position that is rightfully his? Hiashi asked. Yes, Tsunade said. I don't see why he didn't have one of those three just kill him and be over with it, Anko said. Apparently Naruto had the same idea, but with Michi wanting to be politically correct and do things by the book they can't. It took a full month for Hinata and Kiki to explain that to Naruto, Tsunade said. Since when did someone win politically by doing things by the book? Hiashi asked. Never. Those who goes by the book always lose, in everything, Yugo said. So what will you have them do? Shizune asked. I was thinking of calling the mission off, but instead I'm going to give them the option that in 2 years, if the situation don't change, they can come back or do what a ninja does best and make things go Michi's way, Tsunade said. I wish you would just call this mission off and bring them home, but that's also a good idea, Kurenai said. Does everyone agree with this? Tsunade asked. I do, Hiashi said. I guess, as long as they are safe, Yugo said. Good, now on to other news. Yugo, I need someone to constantly follow Danzo, Homura, and Koharu, she said. I'll have Itachi, Yamato, and myself do it, Yugo said. Tsunade nodded. They are planning something and I want to know everything about it. They will not make a move without me knowing it. Jiraiya wouldn't have gotten that pissed if he didn't think they was up to no good. Shizune, I need you to find everything that those three tried to pass since Naruto was born. I want to know why they was so convinced that Naruto being adopted would have been bad thing. Anko, you're going to be a Chunin instructor in a few years when Hanabi graduate. Kurenai, your team is dismantled until I can find replacement for Hinata, or she comes back, she told them. Hi. They all said. That's all. If you don't have anything to discuss you can leave, Tsunade said. Danzo, Homura, and Koharu was sitting in a secret part of Danzo's house, neither knowing about the Mokuton bug that Yamato placed on them. We have a few years until it's time to start the last stage of our plan, Danzo said. Yes, it would have been easier if the Kyuubi brat didn't nominate Tsunade, but even with her there is nothing they can do to prevent this, Homura said. I agree, but what of Orochimaru? He will attack again, Koharu said. I think he will hesitate now since Tsunade keeps Jiraiya around, even if he is a pain in R. he serves the purpose of keeping his ex-teammate away from us, Danzo said. What of the Uchihas? Koharu asked. Well, Fugaku said he has a few trusted followers, the rest are strong believers that the clan will be stronger with the help of the village instead of trying to do a coup, Homura said. That is a problem, but we didn't kill Itachi's best friend for nothing. His Sharingan and arm is working wonders, Danzo said. But that still leaves the question, what do we do with Orochimaru? We can't leave him to himself, he will come up with a way to get to us and kill us, he isn't the type of person who fails twice, Koharu asked. Well, we will have to send a spy, Danzo said. Who and what about Akatsuki? Homura asked. Let me think on this. Let's meet tomorrow so we can work out a plan, Danzo said. The 3 ANBUs was the Hokage's office, they are planning something. Naruto nominating you for Hokage put a hold on those plans, but it looks like they are trying to go with it anyway, Yamato said. Tsunade nodded. What do you suggest? She asked. We need to have spies set before Danzo get his route in Akatsuki or with Orochimaru, Yugo said. Yes, and I propose we use myself and Sasuke, Itachi said. Tsunade looked shocked. Why? She asked. Because we are both Uchihas, it would be more believable with the plan I worked out than just sending 2 people to them, he replied. Tsunade nodded. Bring me Sasuke, she said. What will you tell his friends? Yugo asked. I'm not sure if I should tell them, if I do then it could blow this plan, telling Sasuke is a risk already, Tsunade said. Sasuke was brought into the room. Sasuke, have a seat and don't speak until I tell you to, Tsunade said. Itachi then stood. Sasuke, part of the clan is planning a coup along with the 3 village elders, although it can't be proven to execute the elders. I have proven that Otusan and some others in the clan are working on a coup. What do you think of this? He asked. Sasuke looked at Tsunade, who nodded. I think we should try and stop them, maybe we can talk some sense into them, he said. I have tried. Otusan is sure that this coup will make the clan stronger, Itachi said. What, that's stupid. I'm only as strong as I am because I found out that Naruto was on the same level as me and I wanted to be better than him, Sasuke said. Exactly. That's why we have to stop this from happening. Now Sasuke, what you're about to hear you can't repeat to anyone, Tsunade said. Okay, Sasuke said. I plan on killing those who is part of this coup. You will walk in our parents' room just as I'm killing Otusan and I will then show you everything that happened with my Mangekyo Sharingan I will receive. You will use that as motivation to flee the village and go to Sound, where you will keep a close eye on Orochimaru and everything in Sound and send a report back to Tsunade every month. At the same time I will join Akatsuki and keep an eye on them, Itachi said. What, why me? Sasuke asked. Like you was told, this has to be you and Itachi or it will look like you're spies. Itachi is the only one who can kill the coup without being discovered and because of that you will have revenge for your clan on the front line of your mind, Yugo explained. Sasuke, I know this is a lot to ask, but unless you want Konoha and the rest of your family to die then you must do this. Also get Orochimaru to train you as much as possible. Also eventually he will try and take over your body. Your Sharingan should be able to seal I'm inside you, but you can't forget about your revenge, or he will become suspicious of you, so you need to go after Itachi. From there you two will do what you can to make it look like a serious fight, Tsunade said. Sasuke nodded, taking everything in. When do we start? He asked. Tomorrow night. Come to our parents' room at exactly midnight or the mission will be blown, Itachi said. Sasuke, this is an S-ranked mission. I expect you to carry out your part perfectly, Tsunade said. Can I bring someone with me on this mission? Sasuke asked. Everyone looked surprised. I haven't thought about that. Who was you thinking about? Tsunade asked. Sakura, my teammate, Sasuke said. What do you 3 think? Tsunade asked. Well, they are close. It would be believable that Sakura went with him to try and save him, Yugo said. Okay Sasuke, you can take her but you can't tell her about this mission until after you meet Itachi in a few years, Tsunade said. Okay, I agree to do this mission, Sasuke said. Okay, remember tonight at midnight, Itachi said. Wait, how will I get Sakura from her house? Sasuke asked. Leave that to me. Leave out of the north gate at 10 after midnight. Don't be late, Tsunade said. Okay, I have to go get ready, Sasuke said and left. You go have Sakura pack her things as if she was going on a long mission meeting and tell her to be at the north gate at 10 after midnight, Tsunade said. Itachi and Yugo left. Yamato, continue to spy on the three targets, don't let them out of your sight, Tsunade said. I have Mokuden clones watching them, and have a Mokuden bug on each of them, he replied. Good, now I need some sleep, I'm going to be busy as hell tomorrow, Tsunade said. Itachi had finished killing everyone he knew was in the coop and had killed his Otusan just as his cousin woke up. Itachi, what did you do? She asked scared. Sorry cousin, but you will have to see the Hokage to know the reason why I killed who I did, Itachi said and hit a pressure point on her to put her to sleep. Sasuke ran into his parents' room. Itachi, what did you do? He yelled. Silly little brother. I did it to test my power, Itachi said. I'll kill you. Sasuke ran at Itachi, who slammed him back onto the wall and looked into Sasuke's eyes with a Mangekyo Sharingan. Don't forget you're part of this mission, Sasuke, he said. He then showed himself killing everyone. Sasuke cried from the pain of the Mangekyo Sharingan and seeing his family killed. She slowly got up and ran. He reached the north gate. Sasuke-kun, why are you here? Sakura asked. I'm leaving, he said. No, I won't let you, Sakura said. You can't stop me, Sasuke said. Then take me with you, Sakura said. No, this is my revenge, Sasuke said. Revenge? Sakura asked. Itachi killed my clan, I'm going to kill him, Sasuke said. I'm going, I have my stuff packed because I had a mission, but that's not important. I can't let you leave by yourself. What if you get hurt? Who will heal you? Sakura asked. Fine, but I'm not slowing down for you, Sasuke said. With that, the two ran off into the night. The next morning, the village was up in panic. Tsunade, Sasuke, Sakura, and Itachi is missing, and a number of Uchihas was killed, Shizune yelled, running into the office. Okay, get me a team to go after them, Tsunade said. All we have available are Genins, Kiba and Shino, Shizune said. Then bring me Kiba and Shino, Tsunade said. A few minutes later, the two Chunins was in the office. I need you two to go find Sasuke and Sakura. I believe they went north towards Rice Country, but do not enter Rice, she said. Hi. They both sand and vanished. Tsunade shook her head. I hope they got far enough, she mumbled. Danzo, Homura, and Kaharu was fuming. What the hell happened? Who could have found out exactly who to kill to stop our coup? Danzo yelled. I don't know, but given that Itachi was named a traitor, I would think he did, Kaharu said. Damn him. Years of planning down the toilet just in one night, Danzo said. The only way we can achieve our goals now is to pressure Tsunade to do what we want, like we did with Hiruzen, Homura said. I know. Danzo snapped his fingers. Find any information we can use against Tsunade, anything that relates to her. I don't care what it is, he told his root. Yamato was in the Hokage's office. We have stopped what they was planning, but now they are working on a way to get you to do what they want, like they did with the third, he said. Let them try. The only thing they will find on me is that I like to drink and gamble. Even then it would be useless since I have been paid off my debt before I came back to the village, and I only drink when Shizune is around me, Tsunade shrugged. What do you want me to do? Yamato asked. Tell Yugo I need some ANBUs to find, follow, and if necessary kill those root members, although they won't find anything on me. I can't risk them finding out about the missions I gave Sasuke and Itachi. It would cause a civil war and I will not risk that, Tsunade said. Once Yamato was gone, Kakashi came back. I'm here to report from my mission, he said. Tsunade looked at him and cursed. Damn it, I wanted to see him in a few hours. Well, Kakashi, that will have to wait. I need you to head north and find Kiba and Shino. I sent them after Sasuke and Sakura after they both was found to be missing, she said. When was they gone? How? What happened? Kakashi yelled. I'll explain later, now go, Tsunade said. Kakashi vanished. Damn, I need a drink. Shizune, is it lunchtime? I need a drink, she yelled. No, Su-chan, you have a few hours, but you can have some coffee or tea, Shizune replied. Damn it. I guess I'll take some tea, Tsunade said. 2 hours later, Kakashi came back with both Shino and Kiba. We couldn't find them, Kakashi said. Before Tsunade could respond, her door flew open. Tsunade-sama, you have to do something, this is bad, Makoto yelled with tears in her eyes and looked like she has been crying all morning. Tsunade sighed. Kiba, Shino, you did good, you can go, she told them once they was gone and the door closed. Shizune, get in here and close the door, Tsunade said. Once Shizune was in the room, Tsunade used a small Raiden jutsu on her desk, destroying the mic that she knew Danzo put on it. Once she was satisfied that no one could hear her, she sighed heavily. What I'm about to tell you is an SS Black Book secret and you all must sign a blood oath before I continue, she said, pulling out a blood oath scroll. The three looked at it in shock when they saw Yugo, Yamato, Itachi, and Sasuke's name on it. Once they signed, Tsunade continued, now Sasuke, Sakura, and Itachi are all on S-rank mission, although Sakura don't know, she thinks she is trying to help Sasuke. But in short, Itachi decided to kill part of the Uchiha clan to prevent a coup they was planning with the three elders. He suggested that we use Sasuke to keep an eye on Orochimaru because it would be the most believable plan, since Sasuke would look like he is out for revenge while he went to spy on Akatsuki. Both have seals on them so that they will not be able to talk about this to no one. They both will send monthly reports on what they find. Also, Sasuke has direct orders to get Orochimaru to train him. And since Sakura is with him, I'm sure he will force Orochimaru to train her one way or another. Makoto, I can't say I know how it feels to have a son labeled as a traitor, but I can assure you that Sasuke will not be put on that list. Also, when Akatsuki is dealt with, Itachi will have the label removed and everything will be explained, Tsunade told them. They took all this in slowly. It was quiet for 10 minutes. Why do we need a spy in Akatsuki? I understand Orochi-tem, but ain't Akatsuki just a group of rouge ninjas that like to cause random trouble? Makoto asked. I wish it was that, but in truth Akatsuki is a group made completely of S-ranked missing nins. All was hailed as prodigies of their respective village, and one member Kakuzu was around when my uncle was Hokage. Somehow he is able to escape death, and their main purpose is to collect Jinchuriki and use their biju for some kind of weapon. Jiraiya told me all this and he hasn't figured out what that weapon is supposed to do yet, so as you can see it is imperative we find out what their true intentions are, Tsunade said. I see, this a lot bigger than I thought, and more important than me wanting my son back, Makoto said. Right, this can affect the entire shinobi world. That's why you three had to sign that blood oath before I told you this, and know if this gets out, the person who told this and the persons that heard it will be killed, Tsunade said. So what do we do? Kakashi asked. We continue as if Itachi is a traitor and fight him when we come across him. Sasuke and Sakura will have a constant search party looking for them. Of course I don't expect no one short of Jiraiya or Naruto to actually find them, Tsunade said. Naruto, why him? Makoto asked. Because he is their teammates, he won't give up on finding and saving them. As far as he knows, they are innocent in the whole thing and will try everything to prove it, Shizune said. It's the one thing I drilled them, once a team always a team. No matter what happen, you can always trust your teammates to find you when you need them, Kakashi said. Which is exactly why I sent Sakura at the gate, knowing Sasuke would be there. If she was still here, she wouldn't have understood and would have begged constantly to go look for Sasuke, Tsunade said. Makoto thought about this. Is this why you sent Naruto to Tea Country? She asked. Tsunade was truly shocked by this question, and it showed. You didn't even think about that, did you, Su-chan? Shizune asked. No, but for the first time since I sent him away I'm happy I did. He is just like Kushina when he sets his mind to something, Tsunade said. I'm going home to think about what I learned here today, Makoto said. Fine, but so you know if I don't see you around in the village in a few hours I will send ANBUs to your house to make sure you're okay, Tsunade warned.